So I was very busy in commercials. And one day my commercial agent sent me, it's called a breakdown service. So they're looking for certain commercials and certain types. And all of a sudden they said, we need a Kevin Sorbo type. And I was going, that means they're done with me. They used me up right now. So we want someone kind of like you, but not yet. So I realized, I said, wow, I hope I get something else real quick. So, but the last couple of years before Hercules actually, things were working pretty well for me. I did two pilots that I released and they didn't get picked up. People remember Tom Selleck and Magnum PI. Well, he did 7 other pilot shows we had to leave that the show never got picked up. So you go through those stages, but I realized that I was starting to get really important places when I went to Universal or Paramount or any of those studios. So I knew that my name was getting out and things were starting to happen. So it was good. And I got a lot more confidence at that time. I said, if they don't pick me, it's their loss. Because you can go crazy. So there's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of rejection in the industry. There's going to be a lot more no's, you're not right. There's always reasons they look at you, you're too this or too that or whatever, we don't want you. I know, but you got to get used to that because that's part of it. You got to use failure as a positive thing, not a negative thing. You can learn a lot by failing. Too many people give up too easily. That's funny. You got to dream of the time that they can dream. It's nothing's going to be easy. I tell people I'm a 13-year overnight success. So that's how it works for me.
Okay, let's get to Hercules. How was it? Like, how was the audition process? Because they auditioned 2,000 and a half,
2,800 actors referee. I found out afterwards it was that many. They went all over Canada, all over America, and I got down the last 3 guys on the 7th callback after 2.5 months. And I said, just make up your bloody mind. Who do you want? And the last audition went very well. It was actually very funny because they had each guy that not in the room with them, but in the room like this, a lot of suits, a lot of powerful people from the Universal Studios, men and women that decide what goes on TV and what does not. And they asked you to take your shirt off, and you did not play your role. Because they wanted, when I first got the call, I told my agent, I said, I'm in good shape, but they're going to want some big steroid. Not that Schwarzenegger or Ruth Reynolds are steroids. They said, no, they wanted an athletic guy. They wanted a decathlete type of guy, is what they wanted. So, and sure, I saw the other guys, everybody's athletic with the audition. So, 3 days after the audition, they gave me a call, and I got the role. It was great. It was going to be 5 12 movies. That's all it was going to be. A year down in New Zealand. So that was great for me and very exciting because it was a big break. And by the 3rd movie, the Universal said, we love this, we're going to make this series.
But also, when you got the script, I've read that, you didn't like it in the beginning. Like, that you have to do...
Wow, where did you find that out?
You wrote it, I'm sorry!
No, to me, it was almost too dark. I thought it was weird for a Sam Raimi, show, because Sam Raimi and Evil Dead was all quirky and fun humor and could be very bloody and everything. So I just remember saying that we need to make sure that people laugh with this show, because it's an easy show to laugh at. But then if you realize there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek, there's a lot of fun, a lot of humor, I think that was the catalyst for the show to become more successful. So I said, let's just, I started ad-libbing a lot in the show, and Michael Briscoe, too, plays the oldest and sidekick. At first, the writers get angry because they're in Los Angeles or New Zealand. So by the time they see the dailies, every scene being shot, they go, well, that's not in the script. Why is he saying that? But then they realized that Sam Raimi said, well, actually, it's pretty funny. So one thing is keeping them doing. They started writing more and more like that. And I said, well, Mike and I were doing that with it. But we weren't changing their idea. We weren't writing. We're just adding the lines here and there, just to put a little more humor into it. And it worked. But really, the writers we had were awesome. For me, it's the toughest job. Is to sit down. I wrote 1 episode of Hercules. I'll never do it again. It's too much work. But it was fun. And but that job I love directing, producing, and acting. But the writing, I'll let somebody else do it.
Well, I have to ask you, you were talking about adding stuff into the show and some ad libs. your very famous line, disappointed. Yes. So can you set the record straight?
The record straight is, it was the sovereign character, the alter ego of Hercules from the bilateral universe mythology. And yeah, I ended up in Hercules' world. I said, wait a minute, this isn't my world. And I thought of Kevin Kline in a movie called The Fish Called Wanda. So I didn't say that when I yelled disappointed, it wasn't like I read what the description of what they wanted me to be disappointed in reading the line. It was Kevin Kline in A Fish Called Wanda. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. Very funny comedy. And I just yelled out disappointed, and it took off, and now it's been like 30 million memes of the day of it. So it's kind of funny. It's just, but to me that's interesting because they usually get asked that when you watch every kind of goes.
Yeah.
And people at the table already autograph table and stuff like that too. So it's just kind of funny how things can get their own momentum off of the wrong reason, which is fun. I think it's pretty funny.
So, do you want to say that you're a little bit disappointed about it?
Just a little bit disappointed!
So, when it comes to Hercules, you also have to do some training, right? And it's not just, you did a lot of stunts in the show, and how did that training go?
The minute I started working with Douglas Swan for about 2.5 to 3 months before the series started. So Douglas Swan is one of Bruce Lee's original students, which is really cool. And he created his own method of kung fu called the Bank Lotus Method. And we did all kinds of weapons, all kinds of, how we were doing different kinds of falls and different kinds of kicks. But when I got to New Zealand, Peter Bell, who was a stunt choreographer, his stunt guys were amazing. And we worked out every day on the set. There was 3 fights pretty much in every episode. And so days that there weren't fight scenes, they would still be on set. So I'd rehearse the scene here, I'd go over there while they're setting up cameras and lighting, and then I would rehearse for an hour over here, we'd go through the whole fight over and over, because it's a dance. There were scenes where I did fight 12 times. And I would have maybe 3 moves with each guy. Well, the stunt guy's got to memorize 3. I had to memorize 36 different moves. And, but he came a challenge, and it was fun. And I did easily 90% of my own stunts, because my ego said that I could, and I enjoyed it. It was just fun. And I think that's one of the things that shows us success too. Because I get with some of these fight scenes, these big $300 million budget movies, I go, hell, we have better fights on my TV series than this big movie is. So I had, what Peter Bell did and what his stunt guys did, they were amazing. It was fun. To me, it was part of me playing sports every day. It was the athletic part of me, since I was out of that world.
When it comes to injuries on the show itself, like did it happen during the stunts or were you guys like really coordinated?
I got hit all the house spraying stuff and getting stitches. The worst one was fighting my own co-star, Michael Hurst. When we had, at the end of season 2, we had a 3-show arc of Xena, because they didn't know if they wanted to do the Xena series yet, but they wanted to give an introduction on Hercules and see if they were going to spin it off in our season 2 than their season 1. And I had a hard time with this, that Xena was able to turn Aeolus against me. With the writers, I fought that. I said, that's BS. I don't buy that he would, we've been lifelong friends. One time, having sex with her once is going to make him turn against me. But, so we had to do this fight scene, and we rehearsed it a number of times, and there was one move I didn't like, where I do this 360 spin, and I get low, because Michael's shorter. Michael's like a foot shorter than me. So I had to get down really low, and he's supposed to, whenever you do stunt fights, you're supposed to look at the person. You're supposed to make sure you know where they are. If you watch Jackie Chan, any of those guys, before they do the kick coming through, they eye up to make sure they know where you are. And Michael, his eyes closed, and hits me in the back of the head with a sword. And I ended up waking up in the hospital with a concussion, 13 stitches in the back of the head. And he was bragging about how he's a New Zealand fencing champion. I go, well, if that's what it takes to be a fencing champion in New Zealand, you suck. But he gives me a whiskey that I don't even drink as here's a sorry present. I go, at least don't give me Jim Beam, give me Crown Royal. Give me a Canadian smooth whiskey. I like Canadian whiskeys better. But yeah, it was, there was its pits and perils, but it was still fun. Yeah.
Michael also directed some of the episodes. Like, how did it went? Because like he was your co-star, and suddenly he's in this new position.
Well, I started directing first.
Okay.
And I think because I directed, because I went into Universal Studios during one of our breaks. So I was down there 10 months a year for 7 years. And so when I came back from America, I would do like a month of publicity, one month of talk shows and magazines, newspapers, or whatever, interviews. And I had 1 month to myself, just to veg out and golf every day and just sort of, feel better. But so I went and asked Sam Raimi and the guys, I said, I want to direct an episode of Hercules. And I thought there'd be a fight, and he said, yeah, go ahead. And I went, well, okay then, I'm going to go direct one of these things. And I was kind of shocked that it was so easy. And then Michael asked me, he says, you think they'll let me direct? And I said, I don't know why not. He's directed plays all his life. He's a very smart guy. And so he started directing as well. And we did one episode where he was the Widow Twanky, if you remember the Widow Twanky. He's dressed up in blue hair. It was based on his mother, actually. It was so funny with his fake boobs, and he's got the wig off and all his makeup on. And there's a great shot of me just looking at him, just sort of laughing while he's trying to direct me, because it was hard to take him seriously. But those, Fancy Free was a ballroom episode. We had a ballroom fight scene. And that still is one of my most favorite episodes. And for the first time in like 5 seasons, I was wearing a different outfit other than the leather pants. It was either got to wear something different every episode. So I'm going, a couple different outfits, So I finally got to wear something, which was fun. But Michael, you a very good director, very good director. You want to direct a couple of other, I think you worked on other stuff after that as well. I know they did Spartacus and things like that. So we keep in touch. He's still a stage guy. He knows what you do.
Yeah. So Hercules was also important for you because you met your wife there, right?
I did. It was a great dating service for me. Every episode, the pretty girl I got to work with. So I met her though on the very first day. It was tough. I said, this is over for me. Because I'm pretty good. I know my marks. I hit my lines, all that stuff. And I couldn't remember my lines the very first scene. And Michael's looking. I said, Michael, help me out. He goes, you're on your own, man. So 26 years later, we have 3 kids. We're still together now.
That's amazing. This is not your first time in Czech Republic, because you were also shooting Cole. And mainly in Slovakia, but also in Czech Republic. How was the shooting? Like, I know, you had the health problems afterwards.
That was afterwards, but I mean, I was excited. It was my first big budget movie, Universal Studios. Universal owned the movie and they also owned the series, so they gave me an extra about a month off from Hercules filming. Because we shot some up here, we shot most of it in Bratislava, and we shot about 3 weeks in Croatia. So it was a really cool experience. I mean, it was a lot of fun to do that. And I got my son, my oldest boy's with me, he's 22, and we were walking over St. Charles Bridge, and I said, in the movie Mission Impossible, this is where John Boyd takes his death. So it's neat for that. I mean, the history, I love history, guys. When I was in college, in high school, I took Russian studies, I took Far Eastern studies, and I really wanted to, I love the history. And living over here for 2.5 years, I did travel a lot. And it was great for me to get to Norway. I'm 7th generation Norwegian, so I got to see relatives that I never met before, when I was traveling over here. So it was a lot of fun. And just to walk on the streets here with these little cobblestones, these brick streets that I know are like 700 years old or something. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's when you kind of wish you could time travel and see what it was like back then. Because America wasn't even discovered yet by the Western Europeans by that time. So it was. It's pretty cool, the history of this whole continent.
So I have actually kind of follow-up question here from the audience,
Okay.
which is, have you ever tried any typical Czech food?
I don't know if you typical, I guess you did. I mean, I've had food here that wasn't typical American, so I figured it must have been Czech food. But I'm a Midwestern guy, so I'm like a meat and potatoes guy. Give me steak, give me chicken, give me potatoes, I'm a happy guy. I'm horrible with vegetables. I mean, I like a good Caesar salad, but I'm not the best vegetable. So I had to drink a green drink that tastes absolutely horrible, so I figure it's got to be good for me.
Well, Czech food is mostly pork, a lot of pork, so if you like pork,
I do like pork.
happy? And also,
I noticed that in Slovakia as well.
yeah, and like fried cheese. That's what we have here.
Okay. Fried cheese is kind of big, sort of another diet. So, you know, I think they have that in Chinese diets and things like that.
Yeah.
But the pork is everywhere. It was very interesting in Bratislava as well, because I'd ordered chicken and there'd be pork in the middle or something. And we're traveling to the countryside. We shot further in along the Tatra mountains over in Poland. And I said, do you guys notice everything's got pork in it, but I can't find any pigs on these farms we're driving. What the hell are you eating pork? But no, I like that. I love bacon too. Give me a bacon.
Okay, so can we talk about your health issues that you had after the goal? So like, it was very serious, right? Like.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I mean, I was doing, like I said, doing most of my own fights. I was always getting sprains and cuts and bruises, and I just blew it off. But in this particular case, my arm was killing me, my fingers were numb and cold, I couldn't feel what was going on. I went back to America to do some publicity on the movie Cull in between season 5 and 6 of Hercules, and I was on the East Coast. I don't know, did you guys ever get David Letterman? He was a big talk show in America. So I was doing that on the East Coast. My arm was killing me. They sent the doctor to my room. His name was Dr. Dye. And in America, D-Y-E would be like dying in clothes or something. But seriously, change your freaking name. You're a bloody doctor. But he said, I think it's cardiovascular, you should get checked out. So I went to see my doctor back in LA, and he found a lump up here, and they wanted to do a biopsy. Before the biopsy, I went to see my chiropractor, and I'm laying on the table, and the voice in my head said, don't let him crack your neck, which was weird, because he's never cracked my neck. I know chiropractors do it all the time. I don't like my neck cracked. I haven't had my neck cracked in years. And he knows that. 8 years I've seen the voice, don't let him crack your neck. Oh man, this is so weird. Well, he cracks my neck. And where that lump was this way, he cracked it to the left to right. That was a aneurysm that had been spitting blood clots for months in my arm. And neurologists call it retrograde flow. And for a second, the blood flowed backwards. It sent 4 clots. I suffered 4 strokes. And obviously, I could have died instantly in a wheelchair the rest of my life. The strokes went to my vision, they went to my balance, they went to my speech. My speech quickly came back reasonably quickly, and I worked hard to get that back. I still did 10% loss of vision in both eyes. That was 50% at one time. I did eye exercises called the Alexander technique. Some people may know what this is. That helped me a lot. But the balance issues were huge for me, and it took me 4 months to fight to learn how to walk and balance again. It was weird. It was tough on the ego as well. And it took me 3 years to fully recover. You can see it in the last 2 seasons of Hercules where I lost a lot of weight because I couldn't keep the weight on. I wasn't able to really lift anything anymore. And it was a battle. And I wrote a book. It's called True Strength, My Journey from Hercules to Mere Mortal, and I'm nearly done and saved my life. And I didn't want to write the book. My wife made me write it. She said it's going to help a lot of people, and I'm amazed she was right. I waited years before I finished the book. It didn't come out until 12 years ago. And all of a sudden I started doing stuff I never thought I would do, speaking events. And I do about 12 to 15 speaking events around the country and up to Canada all the time now, and it's been interesting. It's been a great sideline job for me.
Yeah.
Not something I said, I just wanted to act. And so, I'm here, you stuck with me, I'll die another day.
Well, we were glad.